Hey, hello, General Anatomy and Physiology crew. Couple things. For starters, please take a deep breath. I know that this is a lot. For many of you, this is your first semester at St. Kate's. For many of you, it's your first semester back to school in a while. For many of you, this is the first online class. And for some of you, it's a combination of those things. And I know it's chaotic, and it really is. This is some hard stuff. You're in a 4-credit science course. This is heavy content, and we definitely hit the ground running. So take a deep breath. Give yourself some credit, and I promise you that there's nothing that can happen this week that will take you out of the running. What's most important is that you really realize how much time this class is going to take, and it should. You're in training to be professionals. A couple hours a day, probably minimum. So if you take a look, at least 10 hours a week. Some of you will need more. Some of you you'll find might need a little bit less, but that's kind of a good mark to shoot for. One of the things I've asked you to do this week is to take a look at your schedule and see when you'll fit that studying time in, because there's really no magic bullets. None of this stuff that we'll do is impossible. There's just a lot of it, and you're 100% responsible for all of it. The next thing I'd like you to do is to keep going. So I know you're working hard. I know that it's been crazy. I know that you're adjusting. I know some of you started late. Please keep working, and remember that this is a marathon and not a sprint. We've got 15 weeks to go. I promise you that you will settle into a routine and you'll just get better at this. So in addition to the intro videos that I post every week to help get you oriented and kind of on task and to help you figure out the responsibilities for the week, I'll also post a reminder video, which is what this is. And we've got a heavy first week. So for this week, I'd urge you to take the practice quiz in Canvas. I would urge you as soon as possible to do the syllabus acknowledgement that was due. I would urge you to make a short video announcement for your classmates because we'll be working together, and then turn your attention to the true content. There are 2 big presentations to work through this week, and it won't always be that way, but there are 2 big presentations to work through for this week. One is the intro chapter, and the other is the chapter on chemistry. The way to do this is to go through the narrated PowerPoints and take notes. That's the primary way to do this. In addition, there are outlines provided, and there's literally the script provided as well, but you're responsible for all of that content. To help you with that, in addition to asking you a little bit about schedule, this week's critical skills assignment will ask you to go through all of the organic chemistry stuff, which is vastly important, sugars and fats and proteins, and fill in all of those blanks on that sheet to help you create a study tool. That's essentially what that is. A concept map is essentially a tool that you can use once you've studied the content, so that you don't have to just simply go through the videos again and again and again. In preparation for this week, for the 2 lecture contents, you've got a 10-question quiz. Coming up, the window will be Sunday morning at 9 to Monday morning at 9. It'll be a 10-minute quiz, so anytime in that window you can fit that in. And there will be 5 questions from the intro chapter. All of the content is fair game, and there will be 5 questions from the chemistry chapter, and all of that will be fair game. In addition to the lecture content, the lab content for this week will be to learn the terms and pictures in Atlas A. And I know this is a heavy week, but I promise you there is a language for anatomy and physiology. And the sooner you get used to using terms like proximal and distal and ipsilateral and contralateral, the more you'll understand your colleagues, and the more effectively you'll be better able to communicate, not only in this class, but also in program and as a professional. So if we take a look at this week, the things you have to do are syllabus acknowledgement, introduction video, and then critical skills assignments. So that's due on Friday night. All the critical skills will be due on Friday night at midnight. And then you've got things to study in preparation for 2 quizzes. You'll have a lecture quiz over intro and chemistry, and you'll have a lab quiz over Atlas A. And if this does seem like a lot, it truly is. One of the things that we'll do this week is kind of jump in. Some of you haven't used Canvas before, and I'm here to help with any questions. I'm really your advocate in this. I'm not here to be a roadblock in your career. I'm here to work with you on this, but I'm paid to hold you accountable. Last but not least, this semester there are no resources allowed on any quizzes or exams. No resources of any sort. And I take this seriously. If you get caught cheating in this class, I'm going to go out of my way to make sure that all of the regulations of the university, all of the regulations that the university sets forth about academic dishonesty are followed. It's not worth cheating your way at any point through this degree program. And I take that seriously because it makes me irate to think that someone that I dropped my mom off with or someone who cares for me would have cheated their way into the position. So it's just not worth it. And I don't assume that the default condition of any student is to cheat, because I know you're here for a reason. You're here for this pathway to become a person who provides critical care to people and who helps people and is a caregiver, and you'll need this content. If you have any questions, please reach out. So it's a good idea to put in the time, and I would highly recommend taking the quizzes a little bit on the early end if you're ready, because I'll always make the next week's exam and, I will always make the next week's lecture and lab content available on Sunday morning. So the earlier you get the quizzes done, the earlier you can get a jump on the next week's content. And hang on there. We have got weeks and weeks and weeks. We got months of this class, and there's nothing that you can do this week that will take you out of the running. So just be a good learning experience. Please also make sure you're checking your emails a couple times a day. That's how we will communicate. Thank you for being here. Thank you for jumping into this endeavor. I'm definitely on your side in this. If you need anything, you have to reach out. Thank you for all the work, folks, and please get ready. Get those things turned in and be ready for the quiz windows that will come up this weekend from Sunday to Monday. Have a great day.